Hat einen coolen Spitznamen. Razma. Herzlich willkommen, Madas Razma. Razma hat keine einfache Aufgabe hier zum Auftakt des German Darts Grand Prix, denn er muss ran gegen die aktuelle Nummer 9 der Welt. Ein 7-maliger Major Champion. Schön, dass er hier den Weg nach München gefunden hat. Herzlich willkommen, The Machine, James Wade! An diesem.
Well, here we are then, the evening session of the German Darts Grand Prix 2018 here in Munich. And to kick off this evening session, a man who, based on last week's performance in Leverkusen, may well have designs on the title and the £25,000 first prize. James Wade was in fantastic form at the first European Tour event. Can he carry it on in the second? First up, he's got to see off Madas Razma, the Latvian lobber, who's making his first appearance on the Euro Tour this year. He's qualified for a couple of events, the Nordic and Baltic qualifier, but he's been handed perhaps the toughest draw of the lot in the first round. Would you agree with that, Dan Dawson?
It's not a bad assessment with the way that James Wade has been playing over the last few weeks. I think it is a fair assessment to say some of the darts James Wade was throwing at the back end of last year, it was as poor as he's thrown in his career.
First leg, Madas to throw test. Game on.
But James Wade looks rejuvenated. The last 3 tournaments, he's had a last 16 and 2 semi-finals, losing to Michael van Gerwen,
97,
who won, Ian White, who went on to win that day, and then Peter Wright, who arguably should have gone on and won last weekend. Already had a final on the Pro Tour this year as well. And when you look at the Players' Championship series of events, James Wade is 11th in the entire field of 130 players, 130 odd players, in terms of the average over their entire campaign. He's played 20 games in the Players' Championship series, and he's averaging almost 97. That's higher than Peter Wright.
Yeah, he's played some fantastic stuff this year, James Wade. 5 times already in 2018, he's reached at least the quarter-final stage of tournaments.
123.
And in these European tours, and it's the second one, he played some fantastic stuff, as I said, in getting to the semi-final. But he's a qualifier as well, so even though he is a titan of this game, James Wade's got to play an extra day, he's got to play the qualifiers. It's no easy feat to come through those either. But the signs are really, really encouraging, Dan. And I was talking to his manager actually we were on the same flight over here, and he was speaking of the focus that James Wade's got, and he's got his eyes on a major title this year. That's where he feels he should be.
Well, I have to say, last weekend, I'd seen James Wade chucking some good numbers. You know, he's had a 111 average on the Pro Tour this year. He's had a couple of ton pluses going into last weekend. And double top here for a 14 darter. His favourite double 10. And that's a 15 darter, level 100 average. It's kind of what you expect from the machine at the minute. But with the way that he performed right the way through last weekend, beat Beaton with a 97 average, beat Klaassen with a 94 average, beat Michael Smith in a belter of a game
60.
where they both averaged more than 105. Then he saw off Mervyn King with a 99 and didn't miss a dart at double against Peter Wright in the semi-final, but was still beaten 7-4 even though he'd averaged 99 himself.
55.
So that was when I thought, he looks hungry. You're not seeing him hop up on that front foot, which he was doing a lot last year. And I genuinely think that he has got to be considered as a front runner for the big televised titles this year, because he knows how to win them. He's got more experience of winning them than almost everybody else in professional darts.
Well, winning one of these would be a good warm-up, and he may well have a similar route to the one you just described from last weekend, because if he wins this, he would take on Jelle Klaassen again.
Yeah, he's been inserted into the same part of the draw. And of course, because we had the qualifiers at the same time. It's that the seedings are exactly the same for the top 16 seeds. And because he's been randomly thrown into the same part of the draw where he would play Jelle Klaassen, then it could well be, you know, it would be Jelle Klaassen next, but then it could be Michael Smith, Mervyn King potentially. It could be a very, very similar route. It could be identical.
140.
Be quite a good thing for James Wade to do, to come back and go one better through an identical route. The different opponent, of course, being the one he's playing now.
141.
1-4-1 with plenty of time on his side.
60.
Razmataz has not got going yet.
95.
It better happen soon, because we did mention that this had the potential to be a very one-sided affair, and in the early exchanges it's looking like that could be the case.
68. Medals, you require 156.
He is going to come back. 13 required.
60.
You would assume it'll be single 5. Bang in the middle of that section. Bends the wire a touch.
Yeah, he's made the target smaller there, but he still found it.
The second leg, James Wade. Third leg, Medals to throw this. Game up.
And a serene start for the machine. A man who's amassed almost £3 million in prize money in his career. And I know you mentioned the quite scary prospect of James Wade's best darts being ahead of him.
Well, I mean, they could be. They could be. People have said to me, Chris Murphy, that Wade does not have the game to live with the players that have now taken up the mantle of the sport of being, you know, the leaders in the sport. Gary Anderson, Michael Van Gogh and Peter Wright. They don't think he's got the scoring power. They don't think he can go and throw those 110 averages. I think it's absolute nonsense.
Well, in this conversation I had with his manager on the way over, he's actually said if he averages 106, he wins.
Well,
because James Wade averaging 96 wins, often less than that wins. So if he can find that kind of bracket that Van Gerwen is producing consistently, that Wright gets to, that Rob Cross is producing now,
140. Medals, you require 131.
he may even be even better at cleaning up at some of those players.
Well, he's always had this just unnatural ability to take out pressure shots. And that is what has helped him win all the titles that he's won. That's why he's in that elite group of players who've won more than one Euro Tour.
And I think whoever these people are that you're referring to were referring to one particular tournament that they don't think he's going to win.
Some people say that he's had his chance of winning the Worlds, and because he didn't win it that year where he lost to Adrian, he won't get another chance. Well, I think discount James Wade at your peril. At your peril, man!
Well, have we been discounting Madars Razma from this occasion, because he's got himself back into it. Still needs to break James Wade, of course.
39.
Yeah, strong 13 darter from Madars there. These two haven't met before, but then Madars hasn't been on the PDC circuit that much, and he hasn't been going deep into tournaments very much. He did have a run to a semi-final on the Pro Tour towards the end of last year, just before the Grand Prix.
134.
Yeah, but it really was out of the blue, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, yeah. What's he concerned about? Does he think it's a bit loose
139.
there?
100.
Wade leaving 101 after 4 visits. It's a very James Wade leg if he polishes that 101 off.
Well, Razma has upped his game a little, and once again he's just checking to make sure he doesn't leave something silly like 9.
James, you require 101.
But 101, as you said, Dan, a very James Wade shot, isn't it?
Wading is the term,
77.
but he doesn't execute
Matters,
it.
you require
And
54.
that means that Razma can level this game up with a double top.
Well, you can't afford to do
James,
that
you require 24.
against a player of James Wade's experience and quality,
James Wade.
because you will be punished.
Fifth leg matters to the first. Game on.
And punished he is.
This evening session then, following this match, Jermaine Watamina against Alan Taburn,
140.
Josh Payne against Michael Ratsovitz, and then Germany's Martin Schindler looking to join Max Hopp in the second round. He faces Chris Dobie in one of the standout matches of this evening.
Yeah, you quite liked the look of the game after that, didn't you? James Wilson and Tony Alcinas.
I think that's got the, well, those two matches have got the potential to be the closest.
80.
Very hard to pick winners in those. Stephen Bunting then against Christian Girdle. Johnny Clayton, the Ferrets, against another German qualifier, Rene Berndt. And Adrian Lewis
140.
takes on Jordi Meerwisser in the final match of round 1. We're of course back then on Easter Sunday and Easter Monday as the
60.
GDGP concludes here in Munich. And the only man to ever win this title is Michael van Gerwen.
100.
There only has been one staging of the tournament called the German Darts Grand Prix, but there has been 2 other tournaments held here in Munich, and the only man to win those is Michael van Gerwen.
57. James, you require 121.
Well, it's another finish just over the ton. Yeah, quick look at Matters' score. He should go for this, really. Best he can do is leave double 12 again,
97.
which he does.
Matters, you require 164.
Well, a big one. 54. Bullseye.
Game
Oh my,
from
Matters
the
Razma
Matters Razma
lifts the roof.
Congratulations, both there.
Well, where did that come from?
Well, I never.
60.
James Wade, typically unflappable, just getting on with it. But Matters Razma, well, we know he's got quality. He's showing it right now, isn't he?
108.
164.
180.
It was just a hold his throw there, Matters, but he's on the attack in this leg as well.
If he throws another maximum here, it's going to be the best 9 darts we've seen. It's not going to happen.
96.
What a magical spell. If James Wade didn't know much
55.
about his opponent, he's just been shown that he can throw.
When you were speaking to Wadey's manager, did he give any hint as to what's been the catalyst for this turnaround?
59.
Not
James Wade is inscrutable to his own management team as he is to
nearly
the rest
fell
of
over
us.
the hockey there, James Wade, but no, just a refocusing really, a good long look in the mirror, I guess, and James Wade looking at his results from the previous 12 months and thinking, this is not the kind of performance that I should be producing, this is not the kind of results that I should be getting, and this is not where I should be ranked. Once again, Matters having to check himself, but yeah, it's, as you said, he was playing the worst darts of his career, but after the dart comes the dawn, Dan.
162.
Superb setup shot from James Wade, but it might not be worth anything here.
Well, it's pressurised this,
Oh!
and the pressure may well have just shown there.
8. James, you require 24.
Piled on by James Wade, and the miss. I was about to say punished. I would have been right to say punished.
James Wade. 7th leg matters to throw first. Game off.
James Wade doing enough here. Lo and behold, the James Wade formula in full effect. Madar's averaging 93, James averaging 94.
100.
That's what Wade will do. He will 94 average you to death. Oh no, it's just dropped a little bit, but it's still, you know, 91 plays 92, 93. But it might be rising.
108.
Well, as you said, James Wade's got the knack of beating players when he's averaging less than them. So when he's averaging more, it's very unlikely that you'll beat him.
When James Wade won his second Euro Tour title, it was in Hamburg a couple of years ago. I don't think it's been done before or since. He managed to win the quarterfinals, the semi-finals and the final, all with lower averages than his opponent. Only marginally, obviously. But, I mean, that is just pure 100% unrefined wading in its purest form.
Matters you require 161.
Well, he's done the 164. The 161 is not going to follow, which means that James Wade has a chance here for another break
90. James, you require
and to move
81.
within one leg of the place in round 2.
12s again. This time the ball. It's a 12 darter, it's 5-2, it's a break of throw. And for all the people who go, oh, James Wade doesn't go and average 110, and he doesn't go and put in these Michael van Gerwen mind-boggling numbers. He doesn't need to, because what he does, when he really needs a great leg, a 12 darter and 11 darter, he can find one, and it puts him in charge of a game. And that 11 and 12 darter is a leg where you're averaging 125, 130 or whatever. And you don't need to do that leg after leg after leg. Yes, of course. It'd be fantastic if he goes and wins games 6, 7, 8-0, all with 12 darters. Michael van Gerwen, we know, can average 120 plus in games like that. But James Wade doesn't need to, and James Wade doesn't care. Because when he's at his best, if he needs a good leg, he'll find a good leg. And that is the cornerstone on which his successes have been built.
Well, they don't put the average on the trophy, do they? James Wade has picked up plenty of those. I think sometimes it can be easy to forget what he has achieved in his career.
I think some people need reminding sometimes. And I think James Wade is in the mood to start reminding people about his pedigree and his undoubted skill.
I think he's in the mood to start reminding himself.
Yeah, well, I think there's an element of that, yeah.
66 then when he comes back to set up
100.
a repeat
James, you require 66.
of last weekend's second round clash against the Dutchman Jelle Klaassen. And 40 is his forte. James Wade moves through to the second round of the German Darts Grand Prix with an impressive performance, averaging up in the high 90s in the end, and he defeats Madar's Razma 6-2. He'll take on Klaassen tomorrow. He could well be a contender here in Munich. Wade through, we'll see the likes of Lewis, Bunting and Germany's Martin Schindler later on. After this though, Jermaine Watamina takes on Alan Taban. We'll catch a few words with the machine, James Wade. Could he go all the way at the German Darts Grand Prix?
Und trifft morgen auf Jelle Klaassen aus den Niederlanden. Eine muntere Partie, aber auch von Madar's Razma. Gibt nicht viele Dartspieler aus Lettland, vor allem nicht auf diesem Niveau. Seit 5, 6 Jahren ist er auf dem Circuit mit dabei. Applaus für Razma. You love my shoes, huh? I know, very hot. Congratulations. Was just fun to watch that match. Interesting first game.
Oh, it's fun for you, one for me. Bloody awful. So nervous, but again, the German crowd, they fueled me, they gave me fire in my engine. You can't ask much more than that.
I mean, that's the first day of a European Tour event, and that's a great atmosphere.
It's amazing, you know. I'm not sure what's in the water in Germany, but, you know, it's something good. Everyone enjoys themselves, and it's a breath of fresh air, you know. As I say, everyone's enjoying themselves. Can you all interact?
James wollte eine Reaktion haben. Er sagt, es ist wunderbar, er hat keine Ahnung, was hier in der Luft ist. Es ist so wunderbar, dass ihr diesen Abend und so eine Veranstaltung auch so zelebriert und so viel Spaß dabei habt. Yeah. Last weekend semi-finals. What's possible this weekend? Tomorrow you're going to play against Jelle Klaassen.
Tomorrow is another day.
Oh, really? It's a Sunday then.
That's wisdom, isn't it? The older you get, the more crap you talk. No, tomorrow's another day, and hopefully I play better than I did today, because in today's standard of darts, you got to play phenomenal. I'm sure none of them are listening. But no,
the average was 98 at the end. Yeah, it was good at the end. I was doing fun with that. No, it was good.
You're either very good at lying, or I was misunderstood. But no, like I said, I was happy because I won. You know, it's not about averages. It's not about how you feel. Sometimes it's just about getting that win. And I got that win again. Hopefully it starts to become a habit, and I start to piss a lot of people off.
Good to have you here. Thank you very much, James. James Wade. Es macht ihm wieder richtig Spaß.